Morning, guys. Well, today I'm going to attempt the luggage compartment, I guess, or the overhead racking. It'll be a first for me. I guess like everything else here, it's obviously a first. Not 100% sure how to go about this. Don't know whether I should take the doors off first, or I guess the under paneling here needs to come off as well in order to disconnect some wiring and whatnot. We have an overhead AC compartment in here, so I'm just going to attempt all this morning, and it's kind of a chilly morning here, so I'm going to have to do. So the only thing, I'm going to try and take the TVs off here, but I have a Phillips screw there, another one there, and a couple more on that side. I'm assuming that that container is going to come off, so if that's the case, it's probably bolted once that housing or that carpety thing comes off. But I'll let you know. Well, we're back again here. It's late outside. I'm trying to take these TVs off of here. I kind of just assumed that this key would just, I thought maybe it would drop it down. Nope, it doesn't. So stand by for me to figure out how to get these off of here without a sledgehammer. Okay guys, I finally figured out without Googling it how the TVs come off. So you got to take that furry thing off the outside, and then now I realize what the key's for. That goes in there, and then the TV just slides off its mount. So yeah, if you're doing this and you got the key and you're wondering what the heck it's for, guess what? You put it in there, you give it a twist, and then just push it off its mount. Okay guys, well I guess I got most of this underneath part done. We're just at the condenser here now, I guess, for AC through the vents. So we've got some piping here, and I'm just gonna go down to the compressor and see if there's an actual shut-off valve or something. If there's a shut-off valve, that'll make my life so much easier. So for you guys that are doing this, once you open this kind of midship kind of panel here with your HVAC and your AC pump and whatnot, the 2 bolts are there. Take this off, it opens this up, and then you have 2 valves right here. There's a valve, just close it. There's another valve right there, just close it. And those lines run across the coach, and then these ones here are the ones that go straight up. So once again, just close the valves, and you should be free to take that upstairs AC off without losing any of the refrigerant. Well, hey again, I had a bit of a blockage here. I got the luggage compartment hanging down, but there's something catching on the back side, and I'm having a difficult time trying to figure out what the heck is holding it up on the back side. So yeah, I guess stand by and we'll see what the heck's going on. Well, as you can see, still having a hard time. The aluminum actually split. It's just pieces of aluminum, so I'm going to try and just take half of the shelf down and kind of go from there, and working on the back here and taking the back panel off and whatnot. And what do I find other than my drill? Yep, great big nest of some sort. Isn't that just nice? Oh, we're gonna get the critters out of here. They're just not gonna live in here. Hey guys, oh, another morning, another day. I had the cleanup crew in here, so floor got completely swept. I still have to vacuum the tracks. Floor is completely swept. Passenger side bins are completely gone. I'm still working on the driver's side. So like I said earlier, I've tried a different approach with the passenger side bins. So I've taken all the covers off first, and I'm actually starting from the back and working out to the middle of the bus. So not a great view, but in and up behind here is all the blinds, and in behind the blinds are screws, and in behind the screws are more screws. Once you take the panels off, you get to the bare frame, and then you expose all the screws. So I'm kind of hoping that that exposure and taking everything off there first before the bin starts to bend down. So in the prior videos, I took these brackets off and the bins bent way down, and you couldn't get to any of the screws on the underside of the underside of the bin. So this way here, I'm hoping that this is the way. I mean, this passenger side was unbelievable. I'm sure this thing could have sustained a 60-mile-an-hour wreck, and those bins would have been perfectly intact without any issues. So I'm hoping that the bins aren't holding up the roof of the bus. They're in there so good. Hey there. Okay, so a little more progression. We've gone and taken everything down here again. I'm gonna kind of slow down on this one a little bit. I still have to take the evaporator out. So this is the driver's side evaporator for the air conditioning. Like I showed you earlier, I showed you the shut-off valves, and you got your disconnects there, and the hoses run down right into midship here, midway down the coach. So I'm going to try and take this front panel off first. I see a seam here, and I go here in about 8 or so feet. I see another seam there. I'm going to try and disconnect this a little slower than I did last time. I'm going to try and drop that front panel. You can see it's got kind of a seam there. Instead of trying to drop the whole thing at one time, that looks like the best way to do this. Like I said, on the passenger side, I kind of just went ripping and tearing and pulled it off, but I'm still absolutely certain that this thing should unbolt and come off easier than being riveted up in place. I firmly don't believe they did that. So I'm gonna do that, and we're gonna try and take it off in pieces and see how it works. Okay, well, we're back. I guess my plan didn't work so far, but we came up with a new plan. So we do have a seam here. So what we're doing is we're gonna section it from here and pull it all the way forward. Okay, so the carpet has to come up, and then there's this tiny little film of, I don't know if it's tape or what it is, but it's as if it's Gorilla Glue, because I'm pretty sure it's holding the whole bus together. Nothing happens until you score that all the way. So what we've done here is now I'm hoping going to there, I'm hoping once we pull this down, it'll slide out enough to get to the pins. It should be in there holding it together. So stand by while we check her out. Okay, well so far that worked. That did expose our steel rod here. Now this is flexible and you can see it's already peeled apart here. So we're just going to go ahead and give that a tug and hopefully it comes apart. Okay guys, this is kind of how we should have maybe done this, or if you're doing it, try and do this in the future. It's definitely a lot easier for us on the driver's side than it has been the passenger side. Section it all off. Like I said, start from the back side towards the windows, take all the screws out, all the trim out, blinds, everything, and then take these heavy front pieces off in sections. Like I said, they are attached with steel rods. Okay, so we have to cut those steel rods, or in our case in the front we had to cut them because we couldn't get it far enough ahead. But in this case we should be able to just bang this far enough forward or pull it far enough forward that it comes disconnected. But once you expose these bars, this thing slides a lot easier. And really, worst case scenario, if you can't, just cut them. If you can't get them off like that, just cut them. That's what we're probably going to end up doing here. Oh, there. Is that there? There you go. And be very careful not to hit the windows when you're pulling that bar off. So. Will come off a lot easier. Once I unbolted it, it's very heavy, so be careful. That would work good. I was kind of thinking if you didn't want to do a mini split like we're going to do, I think I could use these as mini splits and still use the road air. I'm not comfortable doing that. I think I'm going to still go with a 110 volt mini split. Get rid of all this heavy garbage, and yeah, go on like that. So contact me if you want to buy one of these. If not, it's going to the dump. Okay, so we got that whole piece down. So it came down a lot easier than the last one did. But as you can see, we got another seam here that I think if we split it with the knife, these will come apart in sections. So if we section it out, it's going to be a lot lighter to carry out. So stand by and watch that. But I'm pretty sure that's what's going on. Well, here's where we're at. Yeah, so definitely doing it the way I did it this time, much easier. But be careful, because when you take those cross brackets off of the roof, so once you start unbolting that, guess what happens? It just falls down. And yeah, I got to the back here. She was sagging pretty good. I got to the back and just dropped right down to nothing. So here it is, guys. No sweat, no stress. Just a great big bang when it came down.